short period of time. I am laughing, dancing stardust made incarnate. I'm not paying you a goddamn thing. And once you start getting to that point and you can bring that energy to bear, people who want authority over you, they want to see that you don't need to be babied and nannied anymore. I've had a lot of cops tell me, I wish there were more people like you, we wouldn't have to enforce all these bullshit rules. And I say, I'm working on it, buddy, I'm working on it. But it's a matter of accepting that responsibility. You can't go around, it's not about being anarchistic. It's about accepting responsibility. Stop acting like babies and demanding to be, a greater allowance. I want to do this, do that for me. Learn to do it yourself. Learn to get other people to do it with you and then become dependent upon them or share with them so that you're not so much a burden on them, but that you can all work together. The big trick that they've been playing their whole time, this whole game, essentially what I call it is look here, not there. And bear in mind, this game has been going on for tens of thousands of years. It doesn't need anything to explain it. You don't need aliens, you don't need lizard people to explain it. It's human greed and stupidity, plain and simple. There are people who don't want to go out and do some work, and they want to eat. And that's all it was about. They said, oh, I figured out how the stars work. So I'll tell you when to plant. I'll tell you if God's happy, and you just give me a portion of it. They didn't have to do any work. And it's been the same game for 10,000 years. Look here, not there. And the here changes all the time, but it's always basically the same thing. It's their body of words. Look at my Bible, look at my Torah, look at my criminal code, look at this. Look here. And the reason they want you looking here, delving into this massive deception, is because they don't want you looking there. And the there is in your own heart. In your own heart, you will find a light that is the law. And when you are operating with that, there has no power at all. One of the things I teach people is how to use a notice of understanding and intent and a claim of right to establish what they want in their reality. Now, one guy, I wrote a fairly large, comprehensive claim of right. I don't know who here has seen it. Who's seen it? Anyone? Yeah? It's fairly large, comprehensive, hundreds of points on it. I was trying to help this one guy, Clint Mitchell, with his claim of right. He couldn't wrap his head around this. It was just too complicated for him. So I said, go figure out what your truth is. Go do some meditating, figure out what your understanding is, figure out what your intent is, and then claim that right. So he went, and then he came back half an hour later, he was all giddy. Hey, I got it. So I said, let's see it. And he showed me a claim of right. I almost cried. It was the most beautiful, simplistic claim of right I had ever seen. He said, I looked in my heart and I found that the law is love. I looked in your words, I couldn't find love anywhere. I can only conclude your words are not my law. I'm going to follow my law. And that's it. He sent that off. They haven't bothered him at all since then. And we've had a number of wins. I don't know if you're aware of this. Have you ever received an order from a cop or a judge or something like that? No? Yeah? Go to a restaurant, place an order, see if you're liable for a bill. In a common law jurisdiction, orders create liabilities for bills, and whoever gives the order is liable for the bill. You go to court, they give you an order, you can hit them with a bill. You can say, what, you're ordering me to pay? Here's my bill, pay me up. Judges, if you go in there and they ask you to plead, and this has been done 3 or 4 times that I know of, judges hate it. They'll ask you to plead, they'll say, okay, well, I'm pleading guilty on your behalf. What you do is you say, okay, the defendant has just entered a plea, you're now the defendant, judge. Because I never consented to you entering a plea on my behalf. If you're entering a plea, you're the defendant, not me. Have a great day. They don't like that too much either. And there's a guy, I think it was down in the States. He's in court, the judge walks in, the bailiff comes and tells him to stand up. He says, you have to rise. He says, is that an order? The bailiff says, yeah, that's an order. So the guy pulled out an invoice for $1,000, said, here it is, and he stood up. The bailiff laughs at him, takes the bill to the judge and says, look at what this guy's giving me. Judge looks at it, a couple of whispered voices. The bailiff looks around at him, white as a ghost, but he walked out of there with a check for $1,000. If you give someone an order in a common law jurisdiction and they try to give you a bill and you refuse it, that's fraud, and I don't care who you are. Whether you're a cop, a judge, or a human being, a waitress, a customer in a restaurant, orders generate liabilities for bills all the time. And they know this. There was a guy in Ireland, and there were 3 magistrates. He's in court. They tried to give him an order. He said, "Is that an order? Is that an order?" And he's got his invoice book right there. "No, it's not an order." "What is it, a suggestion?" And they ended up running out of there without giving him any order. And what I have found, once you start looking into your own heart, you will find something magical in there that belongs only to you, which you are asked to share with the world. Look at Willie Nelson, the musician. He was charged for income tax evasion. If he was invited to go sing and perform for some tax collectors, do you think he would do that, or would he abandon his music? I think he would sing. I think he would forgive, go sing. What I did is, you dig at your heart until you find that one thing that is most important to you. And when I was doing comedy, I went through this process, and a guy helped me with it. He told me about it. So I tried it, and it's like peeling an onion. And you got to figure out what is most important to you. Because once you've got that, the world can't stop you. And they can't. You know it, don't you?
Yes, I do.
What I found, I thought it was comedy. I thought I liked making people laugh. I thought that was the most important thing. And then I realized, no, what about truth? I've missed truth. And then I said, okay, what about love? I forgot love too. And then after that I said, well, it's easy to love a child. It's easy to love someone in your family. What about a stranger? So then I got to compassion. And to me, compassion is as far as I can get to. I've got friends who went through the same process, but to them, justice was the end kernel. I've got another friend, love was the end kernel. It's like we're all holding the same cards. We just arrange them in slightly different orders as to what's important to us. Once you start that, you find that, you bring that out, the universe folds. It unfolds and it folds before you. These people who want power and control over you, you know what they hate, I found? This makes them go like this. When someone comes and makes a claim against you and they claim authority, go, really? Smile like you're hungry and ask, really? Oh, they just back right off. Well, I'm almost done here. I'd like to mention that we do have packages here. My trip has cost me a whole whack of coins so far. These packages have 3 of my books, Rob's Very Cunning Plan, a Freeman package, and 6 DVDs, Burst and Bubbles of Government Deception, The Magnificent Deception, Democracy, Rob's Very Cunning Plan, The Security of the Person, and my new one, and then some more. And they're only $200, and that's how I'm paying to go around and doing what I do, causing all sorts of shit. I'm almost done. A little toast. I wish we all had some drinks. Or normally I do my comedy show in front of people who are half pissed, but that's because I normally do morning shows in northern Alberta. Little poem for you all, folks. May love be your master, may peace be your guide, may your souls be sturdy, whatever betide. There is beauty in life, it's in all that you see. You can find it in you, shoot, I found it in me. Life is good, be it short or long, and when we smile, we are strong. So raise up your hearts and spread your cheer to all those you love, be they far or near. Thanks for coming out, folks. Check out the World Freeman Society.